Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl, GoldenAurora, with Insecure Season 5, Episode 2, Growth, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this review. Starting off the show, we get to see this beautiful passage of time with clear skies that resembles Issa's clear mind. She is focused and consistent in building up the block. And her relationship with Molly. This was a surprise to me at first, but then I realized that after her split from Lawrence, she was gonna need her best friend. Then we jump to a whole year later, and the block is hot. The block is hot. Ha, ha. All the work she has done in that span of time has paid off, and Molly is finding her inner peace and focusing on herself. We even see her with a new haircut, and it looks amazing. I think this is the first time we get to see Molly's hair in its natural state, which is a big deal. It symbolizes the change within herself as well as in her outward appearance. It's also a big deal in the workplace, and we'll get to that in a minute. We get to see a lot more of Koya in the show, and her and Issa's relationship has gotten stronger in their friendship/partnership. It looks like Issa trusts Koya a lot because it looks like she might have given her a spare key to her apartment because she just let herself in and she's made breakfast for the both of them. And they have a pretty steady routine accompanied with egos on the go, which is a really good idea, by the way. Molly found her groove back at work, and she's not competing with anyone for the top spot anymore. She's being a team player, and it looks like she's really enjoying her job again. It reminds me of season 1 Molly when work felt natural to her, and she felt like she could be herself. But back to her natural hair. Showcasing this matters because for a long time, Black women's natural hair has been seen as unprofessional in the workplace. I'm glad that Insecure is highlighting that we can be who we are and show up as we are wherever we go, especially in the workplace. And for the first time, we're seeing Molly in some really bold colors. I looked up what colors mean in film, and blue represents fulfillment and peace. And I can see all of that displayed by how comfortable she feels at the firm right now, especially in contrast to how she initially felt when she first started at the firm. There was a lot of tension created within that space, and somehow she was able to work through it and make up with everyone. And now she really looks like she truly belongs there. So I'm really proud of Molly putting in the work for herself at work and into herself. While they are working, Issa and Molly are actively making time for each other again, and I love that. Also, in this 1 year future jump, Nathan and Issa are still friends and just friends. Nathan is getting advice from Issa for promoting the barbershop, and there's some light flirting, but we feel the chemistry. But no one has made a move on either side. It seems like they are content with how they are. Now, at this point in Molly's mom's life, she is trying to pair Molly up with just about anybody. Like with her trying to pair Molly with the guy from church. And it's obvious that they're a pair that would just not work out. But she said she just wanted Molly to get back in the dating circulation. It has been a little over a year since her breakup with Andrew, and at Molly's age, she doesn't think that she has time to keep focusing on herself. At first, I thought her mom saying all of this was a really bad idea on her part because it looked like it was about to undo all of the growth. And from the looks on Molly's face, it looked like she was about to panic and go back into those bad habits. But it was ultimately just a wake-up call. It was the push that she actually needed to get back out there. Now, I did not realize this before, but MPW was showcased back at the Stanford panel in the previous episode. It's a water company that stands for nothing but water, which makes sense with all the water bottles shown at Crenshaw's event. So Issa is partnering with them to do dual promotion. Issa introduces Crenshaw to the company. She looked confident and Koya was rocking his fashion. Everything looked great, but NBW had some notes. We eventually get to see Molly reflecting on her description on what she wanted from a man through the dating app. And from what we could see, she was basically trying to build a man. Everything she listed was pretty superficial and did not have any substance to it like personality or values. I'm really proud of her for reflecting on her past relationships, but I'm not gonna lie. Seeing those flashbacks were painful. All the cringing and wincing that Molly was doing, I was doing the same thing. Then we get to see Issa's meeting with Nadia, but things don't go as planned because Nadia invites Seth. But But Issa was able to turn things around with her authenticity and truthfulness. She showed that she could hold her own in what she stood for and in standing up for Crenshaw. So then Crenshaw is officially in the show. We then get to see Issa and Crenshaw's conversation to simplify the show. She tells him about the company's notes and the tension starts brewing. I don't think that Issa was trying to stifle his vision. She just wanted to make sure that his show was able to be featured. I don't think that Crenshaw was able to look at everything from all sides, but I could tell where he was coming from because all of the elements that they wanted to take out were elements that were important to him, important to the culture and to the community. And in this scene, we get to see Molly and her mom acknowledging their influence on each other. Her mom got her to realize that just because she is working on herself, that she doesn't have to completely give up on men. And her mom acknowledges that they do need to move forward with the estate stuff. Just like how Molly was afraid to move forward, her mom was afraid to move forward too. I'm sure it's the fact that her mom and her dad are getting older, and though that they know they need to take care of the estate planning, that realization hurts, that one day that they'll be gone. And that's something that she wasn't ready to face. But because of Molly, she's looking forward. But I do hope all of this talk with the estate planning does not foreshadow that something's going to happen to one of Molly's parents. It's kind of seeming like that's what they're alluding to. We later get to see Issa and Crenshaw confront each other again because he puts everything back into the show. It works out in the end, but Issa wonders, did she do the right thing? I think that Issa did what she had to do in order to put Crenshaw on. She is still working from the ground up with her company, but when it comes to working with other companies like this, she really doesn't have too much of a say, but she never gave up on him, and that's something I appreciate with Issa. And at the same time, when Issa and Crenshaw initially talked, Crenshaw said that he was going to back out of the show completely, but yet he stayed with NBW and used their resources to put himself on instead of creating and organizing his own show. And even though everything worked out, I don't think that either one of them were completely in the wrong. It was a hard decision for the both of them, but I do wish that Crenshaw would not have been so disrespectful to Issa. And from the way that he looked at her after the fashion show, I don't think that they'll be on good terms. And before Issa leaves the show, she looks up at the big, bright, full moon. It's the same moon that we see Lawrence looking at in episode 1. Now, seeing this moon twice, I really do think there is some symbolism. I think it's supposed to symbolize when Issa is thinking about Lawrence or Lawrence is thinking of Issa. And even though she is thinking of him at this moment and she wants to talk about this whole situation with him, she ends up calling Nathan over to hang out. And then we see her start to fall asleep like Molly was falling asleep on her at the beginning of the episode. I think this is supposed to show that Nathan is in Molly's position. He is in the friend zone. And it really shows when he stays over and they're about to kiss and then she starts crying, or like Issa has said it, crying in his mouth. And when I saw this, I was just flabbergasted, like, girl, why are you crying? Like, it was a very, 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 very awkward situation. But even when she started crying, I knew she wasn't over Lawrence yet. And here we go with these colors again. We haven't seen Issa prominently in such a color before, and her color is yellow. And even though the color yellow can represent joy and happiness, it can also represent caution. And that's what is showing Nathan right now. Proceed with caution, because her heart isn't open to him yet. And I don't think that Issa has admitted this to herself yet, that she's just not ready. And at first I was like, why did he leave her like that? Why not stay there and comfort her? But Nathan knows and Issa knows that he does not just want to be friends with her. So in order to create boundaries, he left. And at least he stayed until she finished crying. I do appreciate that with him. That shows that he really cares about her. But at the same time, Issa keeps pulling Nathan back and forth. I don't think she's going to end up with him at the end. And I don't think I really want her to. Maybe things will change, but until she gets over Lawrence, that's not going to happen. And I think that she still has that hope. She still thinks about him. But let me know what you all think. Do you think that Issa and Nathan will end up together? Let me know in the comments, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye!